guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Jonathan, MSG Bullies. Listen, today's video is going to be nothing but good vibes, great information, very useful information. This information could be for newbies, veterans of the game. But what we're going to do, we're going to take you on a journey of what we do here in MSG Bullies for our females prior to them coming into heat, while they're in heat, and then after they breed. I may sneak in a little gem at the end on what we do once the puppy is here, but ideally that is for another video at another time. So for all our future videos, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get all the notifications. And guys, you will not be disappointed. See you soon. Guys, I'm right back with y'all. Got a little juice to drink on. So, as we said, I'm gonna get right into it. We're gonna take you on a step-by-step process of what we do here at MSG Bullies when it comes to breeding our female. A lot of people ask, I'm not sure what to do. My female is coming into heat. They missing heats. They did 2-3 breedings. Every time, the female don't get pregnant, so they think something's wrong with the female, which very much so could be. But if you're not ruling out certain things, and if you're not practicing certain things, then you don't really know how to pinpoint, because you get in there with the vet, and sometimes us as breeders, we know our dogs much better than we go to the vet. How many times, guys, you went to the vet and you was telling the vet things, not saying that the vet don't know anything, but a lot of times we are the breeders and we are a little bit more knowledgeable in what we do per se, down to the T, than what the vet may be. The vet may just be used to doing heart surgeries and surgeries of whatever kind of sort, but we are more key to know the aspects of breeding. So as a breeder, it's our duty to know certain things and to practice certain practices to make sure when we get to the vet and there's an issue, we're able to narrow that thing down to 1 or 2 things to help the vet out. So once again, this video should be very informational and very helpful to a lot, or whoever can take something from it, take something from it. Whoever don't, it's completely on you. Once again, I'm not saying this is what you have to do, but this is what we do here at MSG. So let's get straight to it. First thing we do, we track our females. So we know when they come into heat. We start tracking our females from the very, very first heat. So we know generally after that first heat, 6 months later, that female will be coming back into heat. So we do not breed our females on the first heat. That is a big no-no. Once again, some people do it. I just feel like that's like taking a 12-year-old girl and saying, okay, you're going to be a mother. There is no reason that if you care about your program, if you care about your dog overall, right? And if you have morals, that you should be breeding that dog on her first heat. It's just unethical. Like, I don't know what you in a rush to do or whatever the case may be, but that female shouldn't be bred on her first heat. Enough of that. So from the first heat, we engage 6 months. So now we're approaching that 6 months period for her to come back into heat. The first thing we do, we go to the vet prior to seeing any blood or any swelling or whatever the case may be. We go to the vet, have our female a physical, right? Make sure that she's all up to date on the shots and everything. We get a booster shot while we at the vet. Now, that is the initial visit, the physical, get a booster shot, make sure she's up to date on rabies shots. And what we'll do, we'll deworm our female, right? Here at the house, we deworm our female. And that's the beginning stages. That's the bare minimum. Now, once you start to notice that your female her vulva is swelling up, which she is coming into heat, you might not see any blood yet, right? What we do, we start the female on a 7-day course of an antibiotic. Now, what this antibiotic does, now this is an old school gym. This comes back, I'm telling my age now, this comes back we was doing this back in the day, game dogs and things of that nature. You give your female an antibiotic because a lot of times, you know, the female may have something underlying, a urinary tract infection, any sort of infection. You're going to give this antibiotic. Our choice of antibiotic is Clavamox. The Clavamox does very well for us. We make sure our female have nothing that will hinder her while she's pregnant or hinder her in any way with making her not conceive puppies. So what I like to do, I like to run a 7-day course. 2 times a day, I give the Clavamox for 7 days. Make sure my female is nice and clear. So now, as a recap, we dewormed her. We did the physical, right? Booster to make sure the immune is strong enough, because remember, this mom immune has to be strong enough to uphold anything that comes onto her and her babies, right? So we want to make sure the immune is strong enough, right? If you're given any supplements on a daily prior to breeding your female, continue that. But don't just say, okay, because I'm about to breed her, let me load her with a bunch of supplements. No, that is not the case. You don't have to do that. So once again, you got your female, she got her shot, she been dewormed, she got a physical, you got her on her antibiotics, you clearing her out. I promise you that is the beginning of any successful breeding. You're establishing a relationship with the vet, right? You reaching out to the stud owner, let him know that it's getting close. Your stud is paid for, or whoever you gonna use. You already have brainstormed that your stud fee is paid for. If you're using one of your males, that's great also. So the stud owner is notified. Your vet is notified. Obviously, you done been to the vet. You have got everything that you need to get for preheat, you know. So now we go on until we done did our antibiotics. Now the female starts to bleed. Okay, cool. Generally for us, what we like to do, we like to start, if this is our first time running progesterone on our female, we never tracked her before. Because remember, the first heat, it made no sense to do everything because we wasn't breeding. So now we're going to track our female. So what I like to do, I like to start at day 5 of her bleeding, day 5 of her bleeding, and I will do my very first progesterone test, right? I know that may be early, but as we know with our dogs, with our bullies, with our American bullies, our exotic bullies, right? Sometimes you'll have a female that's a slow riser, and sometimes you have a female that peaks and rises fast. So with that being said, we don't know. I don't know. This is our very first time breeding this female, right? So I want to take all precautionary measures. So I'll start my progesterone at day 5, and depending on what it say, by the grace of God, I have a very, very, very great vet. Shout out to Marco, Bully Zone. I get my same day progesterones, and with us, we like to use Ibex machines. That's just something that I've been using over the years. I'm very comfortable with it. My vet is very comfortable with it. Steve, you're the greatest. Steve and Marco are the greatest individuals. We're very comfortable with knowing what numbers we need to breed at. I haven't missed last 8 breedings. I haven't missed not one breeding. I'm able to pinpoint when I need to breed, when it's ovulation, when we need to pull pups. So I'm not going to get too far ahead because we will cover that down the line. But what I do, like I said, day 5, we do our first progesterone. We get the same day numbers, so we know where we at. If we need to come back the next day. In most cases, that's just a baseline number. I don't have to do another progesterone for another 3 days. So we get those numbers. The ideal number that we are looking for, the first number I'm looking for is the LH surge number. The LH surge starts at a 3.5 ng on a IDEX machine. That's how, this is what some people use Antec, some people use Medivitis. We use IDEX. That's just what I'm completely secure with IDEX. So looking for that 3.5, that's where the LA surge starts, right? After I get that LA surge, sometime I'll catch a female, she might be right there at the LA surge, 3.5, 3.6, 3.8. Okay, great. So now what I'll do, I'll skip a day and I'll go and I'll do a progesterone the following day. So I skip a day, do a progesterone the following day, because now I know she's reached her LH surge. Now I'm looking for that ovulation point. Where is she ovulating? What IDEX? What generally any female at a 5, she ovulates. Once ovulation occurs, you know 48 hours after that, the eggs are mature and they are ready to be fertilized. Once again, catch that. Ovulate at a 5, 48 hours after that, the eggs are ready to be fertilized. Sometimes you don't catch your girl at a 5, right? Because there's a window. So anywhere between 5 and 10 ng, that's ovulation, right? You like to catch it the closest to 5 so you can pinpoint your 48 hours. But between 5 and 10 is ovulation, guys. Between 5 and 10 is ovulation. So remember, you want to catch that at least 48 hours after, because that's when it takes 48 hours for those eggs to mature. So we try to get it close to 5, because those eggs that may have dropped early while she had reached the 5, right? They are going to mature faster than the eggs that dropped when she was closer to a 10. You get it? So we try to catch the whole window. So that's why it's key to try to catch your female closer to that 5 ng. Right, guys? So we pinpointed ovulation. Okay. We situated. Let's just talk about the stud for a minute. Let's just say we have our own stud, right? And we're going to pull fresh semen from our own stud, right? That's the greatest thing. What we'll do, we'll inseminate, artificial insemination. If we're using artificial insemination, we'll artificial inseminate that female the time when she hit 5 ng, because that live semen is going to live in that female for at least 5 days. So our first breeding will be once our female hits that 5, because now we're going to catch the whole window of her ovulating, right? So if I know my female was at a 5, I don't have to do another progesterone test if I have the stud with me, right? Because I'm going to do that breeding right there at a 5. I'm going to skip a day. Then I'm going to do another artificial insemination, or AI, skip a day, and then I'll do my third AI, right? That's when that's ideal situation where you are breeding one of your studs, one of your males to one of your females, ideally. Let's say you're only able to get one breeding, right? You pay for a stud. That stud is able to meet you at the vet. Cool. It's fresh. You're able to only get one breeding though. We are going to wait until those eggs are mature. So we're going to wait 48 hours after our female has ovulated. We're going to have that stud owner meet us at the vet. And because we're only able to do that one breeding, I would like to do a surgical insemination. 48 hours after she ovulated with fresh semen. Once again, that fresh semen is going to live about 5 days, right, on average. So we're doing surgical insemination right into the uterus with semen that lives 5 days. We're not cutting corners here, guys. This is for real. You invest in real money. This is not, we don't need to cut corners. I have the stud here. I only got one breeding with him. Guess what? I'm doing surgical insemination 48 hours after ovulation. And guess what? Our likelihood of our female taking is going to be great. Let's just say another scenario. Let's just say we're getting semen sent to us. Fresh, chilled semen, right? That means that the semen has been spun down at the vet. We have an extender in it. It's coming to us the next day. We are using the same practice. We are breeding 48 hours after ovulation, and we are doing surgical insemination right into the uterus to give us a better chance of catching all eggs. You get it? So let's just say we're using frozen semen. With frozen semen, there is no other way to do it but surgical insemination. 48 hours after ovulation, also surgical insemination, because guess what? That frozen semen, you don't know how long it's been stored. You don't know how well the semen was before they spin it down, even though they give you a report. But guess what? If it's been sitting 2 years, 3 years, whatever the case may be, you want to give your chances of your female taking, you want to make sure those chances is very, very high. So guess what? What we do? Surgical insemination, because that frozen semen, you'll be lucky if you get 24 hours of that frozen semen living after it's stored and it's been sitting for so long. You're lucky if you get 24 hours. So you have to be so precise with frozen semen. That's why we prefer fresh semen or either fresh chilled semen, right? Okay. So now what we have done, we have made sure our female is good. We have taken her to the vet. We have got the antibiotics. We have got her booster shots. She's been dewormed. Okay. We have done our progesterones. We got our semen. We situated if we're using one of our males, if we're using a male from whatever stud that we paid for. Semen is here. Day of the breeding. We get to the vet. Numbers is right. What we do when we get to our vet, sometimes our vet think we bugging, but it's just we don't like to cut corners. I'll say, do another progesterone today for me because I can get it the same day. Do a progesterone test while I wait, right? Just because I like to track my females. So now future heat, I know, okay, I did the progesterone last heat. She was at, let's just say, a 3.4. Okay, well, I know in 2 more days she had ovulated. And this is just from the prior heat. But we don't just go off of that. We still do the same steps, but we keep track of our females. So we know over the time, you have a slow rising female, you have a normal rising female, or you have a female that rises really fast. Okay, guys, so day of the breeding, we here. Got the stud with us. Let's just say, got the stud with us. Pulls the stud. We get the semen checked before we even put it into the female to make sure that the semen is really good. Once again, we checking off our punch list to make sure everything is good. Check the semen under the scope. Oh, it's good? Okay, great. Inseminate. Once again, we got the semen. The stud owner is here with the stud. Same process. We got the semen shipped overnight. It came to us. Same process. Check the semen under the scope. We compare it with the numbers that we got from the vet with the semen analysis when they check the semen prior to putting extender in it, and then they check the semen after putting extender in it. Cool. We check it under the scope. It's waking up. We brought it to room temperature. Great. It's ready for insemination. Let's just say that semen is no good. Our vet has a scope where it has a screen on it, kind of like technology, obviously, kind of like a smartphone. It has a nice screen on it. We can record that. We can send that straight to the stud owner. Listen, semen got here. Semen is no good. We are not putting this into the female. Semen is no good. And you and that stud owner professionally handle what you guys got to handle to do business properly. You understand? Let's just say everything is all good. Excuse me. Let's just say everything is all bad. Do you have a backup plan for a stud? Right? Don't just use a stud just because you want to breed and have puppies. No. Does that stud fit into your program, into your vision? Understand? It's all about building a program and having a vision. Don't just do things for the hype, or don't just do things because that's what, oh, you want to have puppies and you feel you need to breed this female. No, that's where everything goes downhill. Have a backup plan of a stud that is of your vision. So many times people don't have a backup plan. So now the semen is no good. You don't have a backup plan. Excuse me. Now you're all stressed out. Have a backup plan. Communicate with that stud owner. Let him know, listen, in case things don't go well, will you be available to send me semen out on so-and-so day? This is why I make sure my vet appointments generally are early in the morning. So in case there's any problems, I could reach out to the next stud owner, or I could use one of my studs, whatever the case may be, and I could get that semen overnighted to me for the next day. Or if that female has to be bred that day, If there's a stud owner, generally your second option should be someone that's accessible to you, right? It is easy. You could get the breeding still done the same day, or worst case scenario, you have that breeding done the next morning. So once again, you have to make sure you have a backup plan, and that backup plan have to be accessible to you. Once again, that's on the relationship that you build with that stud owner and being honest with that person. Listen, this is the stud that I'm using. In case things go bad, I would like to come your way, right? Excuse me, guys. So now everything went well. Semen is good. We put it in the female. All right, we wrapping this thing up soon, guys. Put the semen in the female. What do? A product called Oxymate. We start to give that to the mom every day, one a day, while she's preggo, right? We want to claim it. We bred her. We want to say, yes, this girl is pregnant, right? That's what we want to claim. So what we start doing here at MSG, we start giving her the Oxymate. So we give her the Oxymate all the way throughout the pregnancy. Once she's pregnant, what we do, once she has the puppies, we'll switch that Oxymate over to Oxymama. And we'll give her that while she's weaning, while she's, whelping the pups. After the pups is weaned, we do not give Oxymama anymore. We feed a high quality kibble, so we will keep that mom on that same kibble until we see that she's pregnant, or maybe I say like about 3 weeks in of us breeding her. We know our females, we know how they look. We generally switch over to a puppy food. Start giving that mom a puppy food because we know the puppies eat exactly what the mom eat, right, guys? So, while our female is going through the process, first couple weeks, regular play and everything, then you want to start limited how rough your dog plays with the other dogs, how rough you play with your dog. You know, start limiting her exercising, meaning jumping around, running with the ball. You don't want to damage anything that's going on inside of her. So you want to just start to bring it down with her, relax her a little bit as things start to progress. What we like to do, like around, we know our females, but once again, we don't like to cut any corners. So like around day, we're gonna say down day like 45, 50-ish, we like to go in, we like to do an ultrasound, right? This ultrasound is kind of like a sonogram that, us humans do an ultrasound, right? We're not trying to pinpoint how many puppies that we have. That really doesn't matter. We just want to make sure everything that is in there, we confirming the pregnancy, and we want to make sure that everything that is in there and is healthy, is doing really good. Strong heartbeats, that's what we're looking for, strong heartbeats. We're looking for any detection of early signs of any defects. So strong heartbeat is one of the key things that we're looking for, right? As it gets closer to when it would be time for her to give birth, we go in, which may be like day 59, day 60, and we could do an x-ray if we wanted to get a puppy count, because now we're looking for what? Skulls. We're looking for the skeletal, right? Sometimes puppies overlap other puppies, so you don't get an accurate count. But this is for the people that's allowing their females to have a natural birth, so this way you can kind of pinpoint what it is and how many it is that she's having, so you know what to look for. Right, guys? Yeah, so like I was saying to you guys, you do the x-ray for the people that's allowing their puppies to be born naturally, right? For the individuals that's doing a C-section, it really doesn't matter, because we're going in there, everything is going to get taken out, so we don't have to worry about how many puppies per se it's in there, because we know that the vet is going to take everything out. So now it's all going on. Let's make sure our whelping area is set up properly, right? We want to start introducing the mom to the whelping area at least about 2 weeks prior to pups coming. So you want to get her comfortable with that area, let her know, this is where you're going to be at with your puppies. You want to make sure you got your heat lamps available. You want to make sure you got your heating pads available. All your cleaning supplies. Make sure you have baby wipes. Make sure you have rubber gloves. Make sure you have alcohol. Make sure you have enough clean towels. Make sure your whelping pads to go inside your whelping box. That's another thing, guys. We invest a lot of money. I see a lot of people with all kind of makeshifts, whelping boxes and pups in cages with the mom. That is just absurd to me. For one, germs, bacterias, infections, and then you wonder why you have sick pups, why you losing pups, why dogs is dying. Guys, have a little bit more morals, and then you want to post that on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, and think somebody's supposed to pay you top dollar for your dog. That dog is gonna come. That dog is probably gonna die because you guys just are not taking enough pride in your setups, your whelping areas, how you taking care of your puppies. Whatever you put into your dogs will get back to you. You love your dogs enough, your dogs will love you back. Remember that. So guys, set your whelping station up properly so this way it can be an optimal condition for the dogs to be healthy, right? You want to make sure you got a heater around because you want to keep the temperature of the room a certain temperature. If you're a person that uses an incubator, make sure you have your incubator on deck. I don't use an incubator myself, so I cannot give you any information on the incubator because I don't have any experience with that. I make sure all of my whelping areas have clean whelping pads. I have a whelping box, a whelping setup, courtesy of Easy Whelp. I usually get all my stuff from Easy Whelp, all my pads, the stickies that go up under the pads to keep the whelping pad from moving, smothering the pups. Excuse me. I have the puppy rails. I have a complete setup for my whelping box. I have the heat lamp, like I said. I have the heating pads. I have enough towels, clean towels, rubber gloves. You have your scissors around in case you need. You have all your disinfectant, your bleach, your Clorox, your Lysol, alcohol. You should have these things anyway, but once you have in your litter, you want to make sure you have all these things available. You want to make sure you have those baby wipes in case you have a dog or a mom. At first, she may not be licking them to induce them to use the bathroom. So what you would do, you take that baby wipe, you'll put it on either a cotton swab, you'll put it into the warm water, and you'll rub the puppy's backside. This will stimulate them, which will make them think that that's the mom's tongue, and they will, in turn, they will pee, or they will do number two, they will use the bathroom by all means. And this, you have to relieve your puppies, because if you got a whiny puppy that's whining like, what's wrong with the puppy ate and everything, well, maybe that pup needs to use the bathroom and the mom is not licking it to induce that pup to use the bathroom. So what you want to do, you want to make sure you have your baby wipes on deck, and you want to have some warm water. Dip that in the warm water, squeeze it out, and just gently rub the pup on their private area and on their backside, and they will use the bathroom. So got your whelping area set up. Everything's all good. You go to the vet for the day. You do your C-section or however means you're doing. If your female is having pups naturally, once again, make sure you also have some paper towel available, so you can help the mom get the pups out of the sack. And some people allow the mom to eat the afterbirth, right? If you want to do that, okay, one time, whatever. That's sending her, releasing that motherly hormone, sending her into that motherly instinct. Fine, cool. You can look that up again. The hormone that the mom released prior to her having her puppies to send her into a motherly type of stage where she's very attentive and cleaning to the mother. That's why sometimes people, they take their dog in for a C-section, and they take the puppies from the mother too soon, and the mother don't release their hormone, right? So now you get the puppies home, and then the mom don't want to care for the puppy for 2-3 days. Those 2-3 days is very detrimental. You like, oh, this is a bad mom, this mom is horrible. No, because if you did your progesterone properly, right, you would know when she ovulated, right? Generally what we do, we take our pups 62 days after ovulation, we will do a C-section, right? So now we know that where we stand. We know our mother is going to be good. She's going to get home. She's going to get right to the puppies, no problem, right? If you don't do progesterones, you don't do the proper steps ahead. Now you taking puppies out. You don't know what day. You're like, oh, I think she got pregnant on this day. I see it all the time in the vet. Nobody knows. And then guess what? All of your puppies die, right? Puppies came out too early. They was undeveloped, or the mother don't take care of them just because it's too early. Guys, progesterone test, please. I swear by it. Do the progesterone, and then you're able to do reverse progesterone as it starts to get time for the mother to do the to have her puppies. So now you can tell, okay, this is optimal time to take those puppies out, or she's about to go into labor. Once again, have a thermometer on standby. Check the mother's temperature, rectal temperature, all right? Once she drops down to about 98, you know, oh my God, the labor time. Within the next 24 hours, 12 to 24 hours, she will be going into labor, right? So now you having your puppies at home, you got your paper towels, you let her have one of the afterbirths, but then after that, you know, you cleaning it up. Make sure you have an aspirator for the nose and for the throat, right? Whether if you're doing a C-section or if you're doing, haven't letting the mom do natural birth, have an aspirator. This clears the nose and the mouth of any fluids, right? It's very important. This helps the puppy to breathe, right? If you have a puppy that's weak, make sure you know how to stimulate the body with a rough shaking and a rough rubbing. This stimulates the heartbeat. This gets the heartbeat pumping real fast the way it needs to be. You make sure the puppy is breathing. Give the puppy some heat, right? And you should be all good. So once again, make sure all your supplies is there. Make sure your hygiene is on point. Hygiene is key. Make sure that you have all the necessary tools that you need to make sure you could save a pup. You could get a pup going after you get it out the sack, right? And make sure that the mom is dropping these pups in a certain amount of time. You want to make sure that no puppy is stuck. And the mom, make sure you watch her closely. You stay by her. If you have some time in between that mom giving birth to another pup, right? And you know she has more in her, just take her for a short walk, right? Maybe around the yard, but keep an eye on her in case she a pup drops while you take it on that walk. And sometimes that'll help move the puppies closer to where they need to come out. Get her back into the house into the house where she's at, and into a whelping area, and allow her to continue to do what she needs to do, right? You know she'll start nesting amount of pups. That's what a good mom do, making sure that they clean. You have, once again, your whelping pad inside of your whelping area. You have your heating pad, you have your heating lamp, and you just stay very attentive. A gym, puppies is here, right? How often does those puppies eat? And do you keep that mother in there with the puppies the whole entire time? That's very key. A lot of times, a mom may smother puppies, right? So we know that first week, those puppies need to eat when? Every 2 hours. Here at MSG Bullies, we make sure those puppies eat every 2 hours, right? Our 2 hours start when that last puppy finish eating. So we know from when that last puppy finish eating, 2 hours after that, they need to go back on, right? So we don't leave the mother in there with the pups for an extended amount of time. Yes, we allow a mom to bond with her puppies, to be a mother. Of course, that's what they want to do, right? The mother will whine, she will cry, she will bark to be with her puppies. Great. But you just have to be mindful that you keep an eye on her, because you don't want her to lay on these puppies. We all know by day 1, day 2, these puppies is all over the place. You don't want the mom to lay on a puppy and happen to smother the puppy. So that is my gem for this video. How often do you allow your mom to feed those puppies, and do you leave the mother with those puppies, right? So here, like I said, at MSG, we do not allow the mother to stay extended periods, especially not overnight with the puppies while they're young. And we making sure that first week is every 2 hours eating, that second week every 3 hours, right? If the puppies need more, then we a supplement. Sometimes we may need the bottle feed or tube feed, depending on the size of the litter. We want to make sure that mom is replenishing that milk, but it's key, it's very key. Last gem, it's very key that those puppies get those first 3 days, 4 days, those puppies is on that mom nip. Why? Because the first milk that comes out for those puppies has the colostrum in it. The colostrum is what builds the puppy's immune, helps them to fight off any infections, any kind of sicknesses, any kind of colds, anything that come to them. So it's very key, it's very important that those puppies is getting that colostrum from that mom for those first 3-4 days, right? So those 3 gems that I dropped on you guys, hopefully this video is very informational and helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, I will link my website and my email in the description. You guys do not have to worry. I'm here to answer any questions that I can. You can also comment below. I will pay attention to the comments. I'll answer anybody's comments. And stay tuned, guys, for all our future videos. Thanks for your time.